Now, what in the NCL is going on here? It appears that NCL, or Norwegian Cruise Lines, is making some big moves between now and as we sail into 2024, and they're doing it solo within the industry. They're taking the road less traveled, or should I say the waters less sailed. Anyway, recently Norwegian Cruise Lines has announced that they're going to be adding a few more solo cabins to their entire fleet of 19 ships. And when I say a few, I mean a lot. This is the solution that you guys didn't even know you needed. Well, some of you out there, as of course, among other things, you're going to be saving a lot more money. Of course, we will go over the details of this new announcement. I also went to Norwegian Cruise Line's website to check out some of the pricing, and I gotta admit, overall, it's not bad. This is probably one of the most innovative things we've seen from Norwegian in a while. That three-story go-kart thing doesn't really count. The go-karts are slow, you get stuck all over the place. Well, it doesn't really appeal to a big audience like this announcement, in my personal opinion, does. NCL has officially announced that starting on January 2nd, 2024, they will have 1,000 solo cabins available across their entire fleet of 19 ships. And this will not only include inside cabins, because typically whenever you book a solo cabin, if you find one available, it is normally an inside cabin. They will also have ocean view as well as balcony. This will of course depend on the destination and demand that is available for that specific ship and itinerary. However, the best part about this is that you will pay significantly less than you would if you were to be sailing with one other person, or if you were sailing by yourself without the solo option, because you will be paying the supplement fee, basically paying for that invisible person, as well as the port fees and taxes, which of course nobody really likes if you're sailing solo. The reason all of this is happening is of course due to solo cruising becoming more and more popular. A lot of people, and I would argue a lot of younger people that are having some disposable income, are deciding they want to jump on a cruise because it is a no hassle way of travel. About 18% of cruising operations at this point in time are going to be solo cruisers. So of course there is a reason to justify adding more solo cabins. You also have the president of Norwegian Cruise Line, David Herrera. He's saying that they are listening to passengers, and this is something that they have been asking for. Now, of course, along with the solo cabin, most of you know that I typically do cruise solo a lot of the time. I was on the Prima last year and I was in one of these solo cabins. Everyone that is booked in a solo cabin will get access to the solo lounge. This is something that you'll see on board NCL ships. It's really nice, and it comes with all types of food and amenities and coffees and a lot of area in which regular passengers that are sailing with somebody cannot go to. So if you want to go someplace to read a book or just have some alone time or meet other solo occupants that are sailing on board the cruise ship, you have an area available to you. And honestly, I loved it on board the Norwegian Prima, and I'm sure on other ships it's probably also just as nice. Okay, that's enough hyping and fluffing up. Let's get to the real side of things here too. Most of you guys know that I sail a lot, and I do NCL probably the least when it comes to cruising, but I do believe their solo option is absolutely amazing. That's when you can actually get a room that is available. NCL at one point in time was indeed an innovator. If you guys have ever heard of the freestyle cruising, which is kind of the normal form of cruising now, it was NCL that pioneered that freestyle type cruising where you don't have to book every single activity that you want to do on board. You can just walk in and enjoy whatever experience, whether it be a dining option or entertainment option. NCL was the one to do that, and all the other cruise lines have kind of followed suit ever since. And well, this is somewhat the traditional way to cruise now. But since then, NCL, in my personal opinion, hasn't really come up with anything that is going to bring the masses and put more butts in seats. Yeah, they got the go-kart track. Yeah, they have the virtual reality room, and it's really cool, but the prices have definitely gone up with NCL, and with the exception of maybe like the indulged food hall and whatnot, it doesn't really have anything that stands out, in my personal opinion, that is going to drive a mass audience, especially with the innovations and changes that a lot of other cruise lines are doing to bring more people in. There's just a lot more competition now. So I do believe this solo option is something that's going to potentially pave the way to start bringing more people and have them become latitudes, or whatever it is you want to call them. We don't have like a Loyal to Royal or a Carney or a very important fun person name for NCL. They're the Latitude people or something like that. We'll figure it out. Of course, there are some NCL loyalists that will completely disagree with what I'm saying, but in my personal opinion, when it comes to NCL these days, with the exception of maybe you doing the free at sea package included in your cruise, that's when you get the Wi-Fi and drinks and all that included, it does give off the effect, sailing with NCL, that you are essentially being nickeled and dimed to death. Now, don't get me wrong, NCL is not the only cruise line to do this. There are other cruising options that do somewhat give off this feeling as well, but I do believe, as somebody that recently sailed on board NCL's newest ship, the Viva, and being on the Prima and Breakaway earlier this year, I do feel that You kind of get that impression more with NCL than any other line. That's just my personal opinion on the matter. So for them to have this option now, solo, maybe get a cheaper option for you if you want to sail solo. And I always would advocate for anybody, if you've never been on a cruise by yourself or travel by yourself, I do believe that everybody should travel alone at least once. So, well, now you have an option available to you. My last NCL cruise on the Viva was by far the most expensive cruise that I paid for. Do keep in mind this was the inaugural sailing over in Italy. And also, after speaking with a lot of the representatives and, well, just the marketing team with NCL that was on board at the time too, I can confirm that NCL is somewhat swaying more toward the premium category. That is with the likes of Princess Cruises and Virgin Voyages and Celebrity Cruises. And, well, I do believe this is overall good. However, when you compare the price to other lines and what you get and what you don't get, it has been, like I said, within the cruising space, extremely competitive. A lot of people may potentially look in other directions if you don't have something to offer them that is truly innovative and is in their best interest, meaning they pay a little bit more guap, moolah, money. I did take a look at a cruise on board the Norwegian Encore for January 2024, and the prices are not bad, whether it be for the inside ocean view or the balcony. This did include the price that you see here, the free at sea, so it comes with the drinks, Wi-Fi, all that jazz, as well as a flight. Most cruise lines do have this kind of fly and cruise option, and it is available to all of you. You think that is in your best interest for the vacation. Should you have your flight canceled or something like that, Norwegian will refund your cruise and take care of everything for you. Kind of like a including the no hassle way of travel package when it comes to cruising, which I think is pretty cool. But just looking at everything as a whole, I got to say the prices are not bad considering what you get overall. And I do hope that when it comes to this innovative route, more cruise lines will start to follow suit. Because, like I said earlier, I do cruise a lot. I cruise a lot solo for a reason because this, believe it or not, is my full-time business. I spend a lot of money, I'm ashamed to say it, but this year alone here in 2023, I have spent well over $100,000 of my own personal money on cruises. No sponsors, no casino deals. I always say the house always wins. I'm considering it now. I should go run some slots so I can start getting these deals because man, I'm gonna have fun with the tax man next year. Uncle Sam is not gonna like me. I got so much I gotta go over and write-offs and everything else, but nevertheless, it's something that I would prefer to deal with less. By that, of course, I mean finding the cheapest cruises available. Yeah, we splurge sometimes and enjoy, but we definitely have to figure that out as well moving forward. But the fact that NCL is offering these new solo options, like I said, maybe other cruise lines like Virgin, they all have them, but they're usually sold out, so maybe they will follow suit and add more in the not so distant future. Anyway, that's what I got for this particular installment and video. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Have you ever sailed solo? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever sailed in a solo cabin? How was your experience? I'd love to hear about it because I've only sailed in a solo cabin once in my life, and well, I do plan on doing it more in the future. Of course, guys, hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have more videos coming up later today, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.